Hello everybody, it's Josie here, and I'm going to be doing a bit of a haul for you today. So I've got my hands on some books over the last month or so that I just wanted to share with you and talk about, and I'm really excited about reading them. I'm hoping to get to them fairly soon because all of these ones are kind of what I'm in the mood for at the moment, but I thought I'd talk a bit about them. So the first one, so you know my passion for all things secondhand and charity shops. So this book, Nevernight by Jay Kristoff. Now, I know, again, everybody and their uncle has probably read this already, and I keep hearing about it and keep hearing about it, and I have kind of been resisting, although I kind of thought it sounded pretty interesting. So when I walked into my local, I think it was the PDSA store actually, and saw this for £1 on the shelf, I was like, all right, this is a sign from the book heavens that I need to read this book. So this is the first in a trilogy, I believe, and this trilogy focuses around a character called Mia Corvair, and basically the premise, I believe, is that I want to say her father, I'm not 100% sure, but I think her father is killed and she wants to seek revenge. Someone in her life is killed and she wants to seek revenge, and she kind of goes off to assassin school, and I believe it's kind of a mixture of, it's like a fantasy book, and I think there's kind of like familiars, so a little bit like in the Philip Pullman books that I've heard about that are apparently really funny and really good in the series. And I like the idea of assassin school. I've literally just started an audiobook called Killing November by I want to say Samantha Mather, is it? No, Adriana Mather. She's the one that wrote How to Hang a Witch. And that book started with what I believe is also going to be like an assassin or spy school. So I'm kind of into that at the moment. So I thought when I saw this, I would pick it up. I'm not going to do what I normally do, is just grab the whole series and hope to God it's good. I'm literally just going to read this one first, and then if I do like it, I can carry on. But yeah, I saw it and I thought, what the hell, I'm getting it. Plus money goes to charity if I don't like it, right? So the next one, and this is another one, this is kind of been super hyped, and I think everybody's heard about this one. This is Sadie by Courtney Summers. I picked this one up on Marketplace on Amazon because I've been looking for it and wanting to read it. My library doesn't have it on audio, and I was like, you know what, it's there. I'm just gonna buy it and I'm gonna read it. So this is a thriller. I love a thriller. This basically focuses around someone calls into a radio, a DJ, and says that he needs to help find Sadie, a 19-year-old girl that's gone missing. And as it turns out, the reason Sadie's gone missing is because her sister had been brutally murdered, and I believe that Sadie is trying to uncover what really happened to her sister. And then another element of this book that I think sounds really good is that it's written sort of in podcasts, and I'm a sucker for a podcast. I love podcasts. I love Undisclosed. I love, all of those, anything that's a true crime podcast. I kind of love that. And I did read a book last year called Six Voices that was all in podcast as well. And that one's really good. I recommend that as well if you kind of like that genre. But so I thought, this is probably going to be something I enjoy. I have been told that there are trigger warnings for sexual assault and rape, so it can be a little bit hard going at times, but apparently it's excellent and it's a really good thriller. So I'm really looking forward to that. I'm also in quite a thriller mood at the moment. I've just read Night Film, which was fantastic, and also that kind of multimedia content, which I really loved. So yeah, I feel like I'm on that bandwagon at the moment. Then the book in the stack that I bought new is this one over here. This is The Gloaming by Kirsty Logan. So first of all, can we appreciate this just beautiful cover design? I just think it's gorgeous. Anyway, shiny. So The Gloaming, this just sounds so beautiful and so mystical and so gorgeous. So you've got this character, Mara, who lives on this island, this kind of magical sounding island with her family. And I will read you the very first kind of blurb on the back of this because this is what got me and I thought it sounded incredible. So, Mara's Island is one of stories and magic, but every story ends the same way. She will finish her days on the cliff, turned to stone, and gazing out at the horizon like all the islanders before her. And that just got me because that just sounded really beautiful and magical. And then what also got me is that a character comes into her life called Pearl, and she's a mysterious woman, and Mara falls in love with Pearl. So not only is it beautiful sounding, it's kind of that magical realism, which I love, but it's also a queer female-female romance. So this is right up my alley, and I'm really desperate to get to this book very soon. Speaking of queer fiction, the next one I've got here is a Jeanette Winterson book, and this book is called Written on the Body. Now, I picked this up in my local Oxfam store. I've picked up quite a few Jeanette Winterson from there, and I think I'll actually do a bit of a, because this edition, isn't it gorgeous? It's this kind of vintage edition, and, oh, hello. Oh my God. Okay, I'm sorry. I did not see this. So, I mean, I've literally just bought this book, and inside it was this. This is a ticket stub form, and someone's obviously gone to see Jeanette Winterson here in Brighton in 2001. And the book is actually signed to the person that owned it before. So, sorry, that's kind of cool. I didn't actually see that. Anyway, the joys of buying secondhand books. This is the kind of stuff you find. That's really cool. Sorry, so, what was that? Sorry, Written on the Body. So I'll read just about anything Jeanette Winterson writes, just because I love her writing, and it's kind of it's really almost poetic in a sense. But again, this book just sounded incredible. So it's kind of billed as part love story, part kind of philosophy on the body, both kind of the physical and the spiritual, and it just sounds like it's going to be really, really beautiful. It has a really beautiful cover. It goes with my other editions, and apparently it's signed. So that was a fine. Thank you, Oxfam. Sorry, I didn't realise that. Right. So the next two books. So I did a video about, feminism and witchcraft, and I'm very kind of back into reading a lot of books on witches and witchcraft. It's something that I've always loved. I've always kind of been into, but I sort of, how your tastes kind of meander and change. But at the moment, I've kind of come back into that, and I'm picking up anything and everything that's kind of witchy related because I love it. So on that, I've picked up two poetry books. So this first one spells 21st century occult poetry, and this is edited by Sarah Shin and Rebecca Tamas. And this one is, I believe there's 36 contemporary poets, and it's all around the occult and finding the self and spirituality. And this just sounds, first of all, gorgeous, isn't that? This just sounds so right up my alley. This just sounds so beautiful, and I've picked up some of the poems and I've read them, and they're incredible. And yeah, I'm obviously going to get through all of these. I mean, there's a poem called Banshee. This is all kind of occulty hinted, but just sounds fantastic. And then the other one that I picked up is this one. It's called Witch, again, this is by Rebecca Tamas herself. So these are all her own poems. And on the back it says, Witch is a strange, visceral, and darkly witty debut by a startling new voice in British poetry. And it says, Rebecca Tamas reckons with blood and earth, mysticism and the devil, witch trials and the suffragettes, gender and sexuality. And again, I've started reading some of the poems in here. They're incredible. If you love any of those themes, if you're into witchcraft, if you're into feminism, if you're into anything like that, the occult spells, these two poetry editions, yeah, I'll do a full review video on these once I've gotten through both of them, but so far they're incredible. And then kind of going with the theme, so my makeup is very pink. Those two books are very pink. See what I did there? So the next two books, again, I found these two on Marketplace and Amazon secondhand. I think this was like a penny plus postage. But this is The Merciless by Danielle Vega, and then this is The Merciless 2, also by Danielle Vega. I did the thing where I bought two. I believe there's 4 in this series, so I did restrain myself. But these books, I've been hearing so much about them. First of all, I do love these cover designs with the upside down pentagram, but on the back of this one, it says, Forgive us, Father, for we have sinned. And this one says, The Exorcism of Sophia Flores. So, I mean, yeah, you didn't really have to tell me anything more about these because I think they sound incredible. I've been hearing people talk about them for quite a long time. I believe they are billed as YA books, but I also believe that they're quite visceral and they're quite dark. And they have some quite dark themes in them. So how they've been described is it's a group of girls, and it's witchcraft, and someone said to me it's like Mean Girls meets The Craft. But I started reading sort of the inside of this one here, and when they say it's not for the faint-hearted, it starts with Brooklyn Stevens sits in a pool of her own blood, tied up and gagged. No one outside of these dark basement walls knows where she is. No one can hear her scream. So, I mean, I don't think it's for the faint-hearted. I think it's a proper, I quite like the sound of it. I think it's a proper occult, witchy story. I'm really looking forward to both of these. I'm hoping they're both going to be amazing so that I can kind of carry on in the series, but I will let you know. And like I said, if nothing else, they have incredible covers. So anyway, that's my haul for today. Thank you so much for listening to me. Tell me if you've read any of these books, what you think of them. Give me any recommendations based on these that you think that I might like, and I will speak to you all again very soon. Bye-bye.